Okay, so the end of this part, I want to talk about how do you guys review movies? Just like a crash course of just like the stuff that you think about while you're watching movies.
Sounds good.
So we'll start with Professor Kaya.
Well, most of the time I'm trying to stay awake. For some reason, it's dark, it's comfortable, I have food in my stomach, and I'll just fall asleep like right in the middle of the movie anymore. So that's part of getting old. It just happens, you know. And now you'll go see a movie theater, and you all see like this guy and snoring. His wife like nudging him, trying to stay awake. But yeah, if I'm engaged, if I'm not in the theater anymore, if I'm in that story, you know, wanting to know what's going to happen to these characters, that's my judge of a good film, right? And I have to take all that training and put it out of my mind. It's like, oh, he jumped the line, he crossed the line, he did that 180-degree line. Right? Oh, you know, that shot didn't match because my eye had to move 4 degrees. So, you know, all these technical stuff that filmmakers know, you just kind of have to put that aside and just get into the story. And that's basically what Francis told us. Like, if you have a good story, it doesn't matter what's up on the screen. If the story is good, then you're going to get sucked into it. So if at the end of it, like you did with Birdman, if I don't buy the story, if I don't buy the ending, it ruined the whole 90 minutes before that, and that kind of sucks.
Right.
But yeah, if I can get to the end of the film and be awake the whole time and be kind of invested and want to go someplace afterwards and sit and have coffee and talk about the movie, then that's pretty successful for me.
Wow. Yeah, that's how me and Gabe became friends. We were like, hey, there's a movie, what was Ender's Game? So we're like, let's watch that movie. And then the entire trip home, we just start talking about it. And we're like, this is going to be a very long and happy friendship here.
Yeah, that Casablanca.
Yep.
Is the start of a beautiful friendship.
Beautiful friendship. All right, so Bryce.
No, I feel the same way. If I want to get to the end of the movie, like I hate watching a movie that just drags out and I have to pause, go do things, keep in mind, come back and watch it, and like it drives me crazy. Mm-hmm. I have made some of my favorite films have been 2-hour-long films, and I've made it from start to finish because the story is just so gripping, and you want to know what's going to happen to one person. You want to know if they're going to get out of the desert. Like those are the stories I love.
Yep.
Like I don't think can say a movie's bad. I've watched a lot of crappy films, but I still enjoy them. Mm-hmm. Like. It took me out of my room, and that's all movies are to me, is an escape. And just watching a movie for even an hour is just long enough for me to judge you based on your acting, your directing skills, and then I'm done. I'm done with that film. I'll probably never come back to it. Right. But I enjoy almost every movie. So it's hard to say how I judge them, because I'll rate a bad movie and probably still give them good points. Like great script, terrible actors. What's some movie that came out recently that had that? Just feels like the script was fantastic and you just didn't get the cast to back it up. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I will go to a movie. I love going to the theater, getting popcorn, getting my soda pop, sitting in the middle, you know, top middle, and just escaping for an hour and a half. It's just one of the best things in the world. And I've never fallen asleep through a film. So I'm hopefully not going to do that anytime soon, because I do snore like a freight train.
Now, which do you prefer? Going to a movie that's completely empty and watching it, or going to a movie where everyone is really excited about this movie and you're part of an experience?
Okay, I used to go to the midnight premieres at Harkins all the time. I was one of my favorite things in the world, and get there early and sit in the prime real estate and everyone get pissed at you because you took the seat. Like, I love
big hair.
Yeah, you know, everyone's upset. Yeah, it's just, there is a cool thing when something big happens on the screen and everyone applauds it, but then you miss something. You're like, oh, okay, guys, 10 minutes of applauding for that one naked woman. Come on. Come on, guys. There was some important dialogue in that naked woman. She had some things to say. No, like, I don't know. I enjoy an empty theater. I like being at home alone, too. But if it's a big enough movie and I know people that are going to go watch it are, like, supporters of good films, I'll go with them. Like, what was it, Sucker Punch? I watched Sucker Punch in theaters at midnight because it's an action-packed film and it was kind of off the charts, and anybody that knew about it was going just to be entertained. And when I showed up, it was pure entertainment, and everybody was having a blast. We were all laughing. We were all on the edge of our seats for the action scenes. Oh, yeah. It was the theater was full at the Cinema Capri. I don't know, is that right, Cinema Capri? If you've ever been there to Harkins, the biggest theater, and then Warren took over that. But it's massive. People feel it. And, like, they tell you to get up and scoot towards the middle to get more people in. Like, they don't mind telling you to move seats at the Harkins. It's so cool. I do recommend that at least once, to go see that a theater when it's jam-packed. Mm-hmm. Or the Warren in IMAX 3D. when everyone's like gasping at the same time. Oh my gosh, I watched what was it? Everest at IMAX 3D when it was full. Oh my gosh, everyone just shivers at the same time when the wind hits. You're like, oh man, everyone. Oh, we're good. We're not that cold. It's fun. It's a group experience. I definitely recommend it at least a couple times. Only big movies.
I watched only B movies.
Big movies.
Oh, big movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched the Marvel movies.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about it going to the
Yeah.
comic book. I like those a lot.
Like when we saw the Avengers: Age of Ultron, and my favorite part of that entire night, we watched the double feature. So you got to watch the first Avengers,
yeah.
and then you got to watch the second one back to back.
That's pretty cool.
My favorite part that whole night wasn't either of the movies. When they started the second one, they were showing the trailer for Star Wars, and all the nerds in the room went, yeah!
It wasn't even the trailer; it was just George Lucas filmed.
It just put Lucasfilm, and like it was going crazy.
Something about the energy. It's like a sporting event. Like when a touchdown happens, it's so weird how nerds unite for one. It's just like Star Wars. You're like, hey, you want to see it? I know you're gonna see it. Like I'm going to see dressing up. You know I'm gonna dress up. I got the lightsaber. Like everyone gets so into it. Like I love that. Like Harry Potter. When I was in high school, I was working in the theater and I got to stretch film for Harry Potter. And we were running out, and like they didn't send us an extra film, and so we had to run between projector to projector because we had already advertised every theater was going to be showing.
Wow!
And so I had to run it projector to projector, and it took the weirdest thing in the world was the timing was off on those films, and they were right next to each other, and we tried to hit play the exact same time on everyone, and so it was funny listening to people gasp in one theater and then waiting like 10 seconds, and then hearing them gasp in the other theater, especially when you could see it just track all the way over to the other projector and wind itself down. It was cool. Those people were there dressed up, wands, like a couple Hagrids.
Wow.
I loved it. It was so much fun.
I've never seen that, though. I've seen it in the Avengers of Age of Ultron. I've seen people with shields.
Yeah.
But that's it. I've never seen anyone, like, dress up.
I saw a guy he had a Thor helmet and a Thor hammer. And I mean, he was a bigger guy.
Yeah.
When he sat down, it was just like, he was ready to go. He sat down. He was like, "All right, let's do this."
I love people like that. Like I've always wanted to go to Comic-Con.
Oh my god!
It would be heaven on earth to be surrounded by people that also enjoy things like me, and just talk to them about whatever I want to.
Don't even get me started on Comic-Con.
It's on my bucket list.
Oh yeah.
I'd have to go see a movie trailer. What is it? Don't they show like trailer releases at Comic-Con?
Early clips or something.
Yeah, I would go to that with a group of nerds. Oh my
I
gosh,
wish
that would be fun.
I wish I just went there to watch the exclusive trailer for Deadpool. I'm a big Deadpool fan, and I tried to watch it on the internet, like the little someone shaking their recorder. It was bad, but yeah,
They were shaking with excitement. They're like, "Come on, Jim."
That trailer was pretty sweet, though.
Yeah,
That's cool. I have to check it out.
So, Gabe, I guess your last one. How do you review movies?
Well, I mean, pretty much just like they do. You know, I just watch a movie, and by the end, if I'm bored or if I'm texting through the entire movie, I'm not. It's not into it. But there are times where, I'll be watching a movie, especially if it's one that I can pause, on Netflix, and I'm into it, and I get a text message, I'll pause it, text be like, I gotta go. Put my phone down, hit play, and I don't hit pause it yet.
That does really piss me off, because we watch movies together, I pause it, and I'm like, fuck. He's like, I gotta text my girlfriend.
Yeah, I couldn't do a pausing roommate. That would drive me. I'm in a movie. If I'm into a movie, I don't want to have to pause it. I'll put my phone on silent and hide it in the covers.
It's mostly just The Walking Dead.
It's mostly The Walking Dead, and that's the one that pisses me off the most.
I won't pause.
Because I'm okay with movies, but with The Walking Dead,
there's no pause in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
That's what I see. There's no pause in the zombie apocalypse. If you can't handle it, you need to leave the room.
No crying in baseball, no pause in the zombie apocalypse.
That's right.
I like that.
Rick wouldn't agree with this. You got sex? Get the heck out of here.
They'll cut you with your his red machete.
Yeah.
So I actually have a question for you guys, because you guys said that you fall asleep in movies, and that just throws you off. Of course it will. What do you guys think of Man of Steel? The reason why I asked that, because I cannot stay awake in that film. I fell asleep. I watched it 3 times, and I actually have the DVD trying to watch it, and I can't watch it. I fall asleep every single time. Did you guys fall asleep in it, or am I just the only one?
I love the Superman story because I'm adopted. I was adopted at birth. I don't know my backstory at all. So that story is always going to hit home for me.
Yeah.
an alien, raised by farmers, grows up to be the hero of the world, yeah, I'm fine with it. I can stick with that storyline, no matter how boring it is. I will say there was some low parts through Man of Steel, but it felt like you were reading a comic book. That's kind of how I felt. Like, there's low spots in a comic book where he's just going about his day, he's just like, what's my next adventure, and you watch him walk down the street, and then all of a sudden something springs up and happens.
Yeah.
So when I watched Man of Steel, I tried to watch it as a comic book and not as a movie, because they were trying to lay out a very big story. I felt like they really covered a good back part of Superman in that movie, in that grouping. But I don't know, like, I love the way they opened that movie, so after that I was kind of stuck on it. Like watching him on an oil rig saving.
And that's the thing, like, I enjoyed the storyline, but when he actually battled, what's his name, the villain?
Zog.
Yeah. He destroyed an entire city, and that's the part I was like, I'm done, because it's just, I can't see anything. Just like the Transformer movies.
True.
I can't stay with those because it's just, you don't know what you're actually watching. And do you review that part of the film, or do you actually just record or review the scripts and the stuff that you guys talk about? Like, if you say you like the film because, like, let's go with the 007, the new one, the Spectre. I'm not going to give any spoilers for the people that's listening, but the intro of the scene, I was hooked because it was such a great chase scene. But at the end, there was too many explosions, and that's just for me. And so, do you see that as a downfall of the film, or actually was it pretty good?
For Man of Steel, I can understand why they drug that fight scene on so long. But yeah, I was bored. I mean, that's sad to say, because just the money they spent to make the
I love the film, and I'm really excited for Batman vs Superman.
This is an even match.
Yeah.
And why is it Superman taking the fight somewhere where they're not going to destroy a city? It's like, hey, let's go to the desert, let's go fight out there.
They're in Kansas. There's fields all around there.
So, yeah, there was some logic issues I had. The main problem I had with the Man of Steel was I was watching with my 12-year-old daughter, who was a Marvel freak. And so she's not going to have anything to do with DC at all. So I'm trying to introduce her to the DC world, saying that, and it didn't help at all. She's like, I don't buy it, Daddy.
And when there's a generation of kids that will never enjoy DC movies now. Like my nephew, who's 12, he'll never love DC movies.
That is so sad.
It just doesn't make sense to him.
Watching the trailer for Batman
Superman. And
they're like,
watching it.
Yeah.
The Suicide Squad. I mean, come on, like those two movies.
That one will be interesting.
The Justice League. Oh my goodness.
Well, they're not coming out without for like 3 more years. But they're working with it.
I like the Superman shots, the Man of Steel, when you see him fly through the air and destroy a building. One, because that's my point of view.
Yeah.
As a person in New York City, I look up and I just saw a man and another man fly through the Empire State Building and then land down by the street, and there's a giant impact hole there. I don't know how that happened. I've been at work in my cubicle, and I just came out and saw this.
You were working for Wayne Industries.
Yeah, exactly.
Wayne Tower.
I'm like, wait a second. Bruce told me I had a raise coming. And now I'm looking at this. Yeah, no, something about those shots to me in movies like any Superman movie. I love when they give the point of view of a person just watching things happen. Like, it's such a unique thing to see. Like you said, though, didn't like that it was New York City, that they were just destroying. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. Superman would take it somewhere else.
It's Metropolis.
It's Metropolis. I'm so sorry. Metropolis.
We all know.
We all know. It looks just like New York.
I like seeing Lex Luthor Corp destroyed. Did you see a lot of those
Lex
cameos?
Corp,
I must have fell asleep on that part.
A lot of Lex Corp stuff was destroyed in the fight, which I think they'll bring up pretty heavily in the Superman versus Batman.
Yeah.
I think that we might see Lex Luthor trying to get his hand in somewhere in on that. I would like to see Lex Luthor in the next couple Batman movies. That would be fantastic for me. Or Superman movies. Batman.
Well, fellow podcast listeners, if there are any comments or questions that you would like to ask any of us, or if you would like to leave a comment about the show, please feel free to do that on Facebook or Twitter. And if you're interested on Redlands Community College, please go to redlandscc.edu. And as always, dream big, students.